You know, when we think about ghost stories, our minds usually jump straight to the terror, the jump scares. But today, we're going to look past all that. We're going to explore one of Southeast Asia's most famous legends, the Kuntilanak, and find the deeply human, tragic story beating at its heart.
All right, I've got a question for you right off the bat. Picture this. You're walking alone at night, and up ahead, you see a dark, dense grove of banana trees. What's your move? Do you keep going, or do you turn around, no questions asked? Let me know what you do, because as you're about to find out, that's exactly where she's set to rest during the day. So here's the path we're going to take together. We'll start with the chilling specter that everyone's heard of, then uncover the secret hidden right inside her name. We'll explore her motives for revenge, see how a ghost literally named a capital city, follow her career on the big screen, and finally, really dig into why her story continues to capture our hearts. All right, first up, let's meet the ghost at the heart of this story. You might know her as the Kuntilanak in Indonesia, or maybe the Pontianak in Malaysia and Singapore. Whatever the name, she is one of the most well-known and feared spirits in the entire region. So how do you know if she's near? Well, it's not just about what you see, it's a full sensory experience. It starts with a beautiful, sweet smell, like plumeria flowers. But then, it suddenly curdles into this awful, decaying stench. You might hear a baby crying. And here's the creepy part. If the cry is loud, she's far away. But if it's soft and faint, she's right there. Then finally, you see her. The iconic long-haired woman in a white dress stained with blood. Okay, but this is where everything changes. This is the moment we move beyond a simple, scary ghost story and into something way deeper, something profoundly human. And the biggest clue to her real story has been hiding in plain sight this whole time. Take a look at this. Whether you call her Kuntilanak or Pontianak, both names end with the same word, anak. In Malay and Indonesian, that means child. Now, that is no coincidence. It's the absolute key to understanding who she really is. Her entire identity is tied to being a mother.
And that right there, that's the heart of it all. This isn't just some random angry spirit. She is the ghost of a woman who died tragically, either while she was pregnant or in the very act of giving birth. This single, devastating detail transforms her from a monster into a symbol of unimaginable loss. It connects her story to one of our most fundamental and sometimes most painful human experiences.
So that begs the question, right? If she's this figure of tragedy, why is she so feared, so vengeful? Well, her rage isn't random at all. It's a direct, violent answer to the suffering she endured, a desperate search for the justice she was denied in life. And this is a really important detail in the lore. Not every woman who dies in childbirth becomes a Kuntilanak. Her story is specifically about what's called an unhappy death. It's about women who are victims of violence, abuse, or even murder, often by men, at their most vulnerable moment. Her legend really speaks to these twin historical fears: the physical dangers of childbirth and the threat of patriarchal violence. And this creates this chilling duality. She has two faces. Sometimes she appears as a beautiful, sorrowful woman, a ghost of who she used to be, to draw her victims close. But when she reveals her true form, she is a monster, a snarling, shrieking predator with viciously long fingernails, a terrifying force of pure rage. She is both the victim and the vengeance. You know, this theme feels so universal, doesn't it? The wronged woman who returns to claim her justice. Think about La Llorona in Latin America, or the many white lady legends all over the world. It feels like every culture has a cousin to this story. I would absolutely love to hear the version you grew up with. Drop it in the comments.
Okay, so we've seen her as a ghost and as a mother, but her story is even bigger than that. It's so big, in fact, that it's literally written on the map, embedded in the founding of a major Indonesian city.
So the story goes like this. Back in 1771, a sultan named Sharif Abdurrahman came to this land to build a new settlement. But the area was supposedly infested with Kuntilanak spirits who tormented his people. So what did he do? He loaded up his cannons and just fired them into the forests until the noise drove the spirits away. And on that spot, he built a mosque and his palace, and he named the new city Pontianak, after the very spirits he had chased off. But of course, a story like this is never just about cannons and ghosts. Many scholars see a much deeper meaning here. It's an allegory. The native Pontianak spirits represent the old, indigenous, animist beliefs of the land. And the Sultan, with his cannons and his mosque, represents the arrival of new, powerful forces like Islam and colonialism. The city's founding myth is really a story about one culture taming and replacing another.
So from folklore whispered in villages to the founding myth of a city, a story this powerful was bound to find its way to the big screen. Let's take a look at how the Kuntilanak became a true superstar of Southeast Asian horror movies.
And her movie career has been a real roller coaster. The 1950s and 60s were her golden age. She was a huge box office draw. But then, for a few decades, strict censorship on horror films meant she basically vanished. But you can't keep a good ghost down. Since the 2000s, she has come roaring back, starring in some of the biggest modern horror hits in the region.
What's really fascinating about her comeback is how filmmakers today are looking at her through a new lens. This quote sums it up perfectly. They're using this ancient legend to talk about very modern issues, about how women's power is often boxed in, limited to roles like mother, victim, or vengeful spirit. The monster has become a way to talk about society. So, after all of this, the folklore, the history, the blockbuster movies, we're left with the biggest question of all. Why does the story stick with us? Why, after all these centuries, are we still so fascinated by the Kuntilanak?
I mean, really think about it for a second. On the surface, she's a terrifying, vicious monster. So how does a story like that manage to touch us so deeply on such an emotional level?
Well, I think the answer is because she was never just a monster. Her story endures because it's our story too. It taps into these universal human tragedies. The unbelievable pain of losing a mother or a child. The very real historical dangers that women have faced. That deep, burning rage we feel against injustice. Even the struggle between old traditions and new ways of life. She's a reflection of our own deepest fears and sorrows.
The story of the Kuntilanak is such a powerful reminder that the horror that really lasts isn't just about jump scares. It's about what touches something human inside of us. If you're into that kind of deep, meaningful storytelling, go ahead and save this explainer for later.
So today we dove deep into a legend from Southeast Asia. But these powerful stories are everywhere. We want to know, where should our next journey take us? Let us know in the comments what country's folklore you want us to open the files on next.
And I guess I'll just leave you with this one last thought. We started with a monster in the treetops, and we found a mother's tragedy, a victim's rage, and a symbol of history. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other monsters out there, if we just listen closely enough, are really just telling a human story?